Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have another episode of the Road to Glory. We did change our team entirely because at some point, you guys know, when it comes to FIFA, I do like to change the teams a lot, different tactics once I kind of get into it. We haven't been playing too many games on the Road to Glory yet because I've been dealing with some IRL stuff so far, and obviously I look at the 1 o'clock stuff and then potential reviews to do in the future. So hopefully if I can get that stream schedule going for you guys, we can get all of that going, because that'd be obviously great to work with. But for now, guys, we did change the team entirely. For the footage that you guys are going to see today, we are going to be using Correa and Carrasco up top in the striker and the left wing position. And I'm going to tell you guys why I ended up changing those two and why I had to change the team a little bit, because of how they kind of performed on the pitch in regards to the other players on the pitch, right? There's a lot of things that need to be worked on for this team, but obviously I'll let you guys know by the end of it. But for now, guys, what we're going to be talking about today is an overpowered cheap beast, and it is this card right here, okay? Because in previous years, you guys know that when I reviewed the Memphis Depay card, I never really thought he was special. I was like, oh, you know, this card's really cool to use, and, you know, reason being for this is because the 3-star weak foot at the time was kind of a nuisance. This card for this year's game has certain things that just make him really good. Like this year's game, you really have to try out cards. Like you have to, okay? Because in previous years, I would say last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even 4 years ago, you didn't really need to actually play with the cards in-game unless you had to see attacking AI to see the quality of the player most of the time. It was very easy to read the cards, I would say a good 85% of the time. The only surprise you would have is, like, I think it was last year where Varane was like significantly better, even though his agility and balance is set up the same way. Didn't really matter. Same as this year, by the way, his agility and balance doesn't matter. But this year's game, you have to try out cards, right? When I was using this Memphis Depay card, like, I saw him in Japes' team, right? He has like Benzema and Depay, and I was like, Depay, like, I don't know, man. I never really liked this card. There's never been a FIFA where I really mess with this card. Yo, this year, this card is so freaking good, man. He is such a beast, okay? Listen, I don't have him on full 10 chemistry yet. Obviously, I can get a manager to do all that stuff, but at some point he will anyways after 10 games, because I've been playing a few games with him for the friendlies to unlock the Camavinga OTW card, as well as some Division Rivals games, which you guys are going to see today. And let me tell you guys, man, this Depay card is so good, and I had to change Correa and Carrasco in this team because in comparison, bro, it was so hard to use those two compared to Depay. Even Chiesa, you know, actually holds up really well because, you know, if you take a look at his dribbling stats in game, he has some pretty solid stats, especially on the finisher chemistry style. It works out okay, right? But here's the thing, man. With Depay, his unique body type with his dribbling stats and the way that his physical works, it works out so well, man. He has really, really good sharp dribbles, man. And you guys know, man, I'm a very huge guy when it comes to sharp dribbles in this game. And the fact that Depay has those sharp dribbles is fantastic. And I think Griezmann does too. So maybe at some point in the future, I can maybe set up a thing where I put Gini Wijnaldum, I mean, there's a couple of changes that can actually be done to this team, to be fair, right? But, you know, in Gini Wijnaldum's position, I could put someone like De Jong, right? Get that Dutch link, Barcelona link, league link to Depay, maybe get like a left back from Liga Santander. There's a few things that we can work with, right? But with Depay, guys, I'm telling you, you guys need to try out this card. His weak foot is irrelevant, okay? The things that he has in this game, 5'9", high-low work rates, is so brilliant to work with on this card. 5-star skills, attributes, you know, his stats, it's set up a way where his shot power, right, is higher than the finishing. So when you give him that hunter and his dribbling is actually pretty solid in game already, even with those dribbling stats, it's amazing. Like, it just works so well. And you guys know I'm a very big guy when it comes to attacking AI. His attacking AI is sick, man. I'm going to show you guys how I actually lined up with this team in game, right? So I have different tactics, but I'm obviously trying out some certain things. If I ever find a tactic that I personally like, then I'll obviously share that with you guys, because I know that a lot of people put their tactics, put their formations, custom tactics. But to be honest with you guys, it's kind of down to personal preference most of the times. The only person that I truly enjoy getting tactics from is Air Japes, because he does this thing, man, where he goes for realism as well as like a great formation that actually moves across a pitch really nicely, right? So, but again, you do have to use formation and tactics based off of your personal preference. But for now, I was changing this a lot, right? And I was changing this due to what I was noticing on the pitch, what I wanted my players to do. And at some point, I'm still going to adjust it. I wouldn't make a video on this yet because I'm not 100% in tune with it yet. But, you know, balance of 50 for width, 45 for depth. This is probably going to be adjusted so I can find that right balance for defense considering the CDMs that I have. Slow build-up. Slow build-up is, that's my play style. You guys know, if you guys watch player reviews, the way that I pass the ball in the midfield to the attack, that's what I want to do, right? I'm on the fence of doing balance or possession. The reason why I don't want to do possession is because sometimes it stops players from making certain runs and playing to their base characteristics, which is just not something that I really want to do, right? The reason why I switched to Benzema in this team is because I want to see if his attacking AI adapts to the pitch quicker, okay? Because I personally think that Correa is overrated. I don't think he's bad by any means, but I do think he's definitely overrated for, you know, what people have been saying. Like, he's a cool card for sure, but there's just certain things that, like, I really feel like I need my striker to do. Like, the striker position this year, in my opinion, is going to be the most important position because you can get solid defenders, you can get solid midfielders, you can get solid attackers playing through the other three main attackers. But if you're using a striker, I really feel like that position is going to be absolutely vital. Like, getting someone like Mbappe is going to be a game changer, right? But Depay is great, dude. So listen, slow build up, balance. I changed the width to 70 because it was so narrow, and the reason why I changed it to 70, I'm going to show you guys right now, okay? With players in the box set to 3. The instructions that I have set for this team is stay back while attacking for the fullback, so some pretty default stuff there. The CDMs are on cut pass lanes, cover center, but I have the attacking one that I want to be on bounce for attacking support, and then the other one to be defensive on the stay back while attacking. This is where someone like De Jong could come in handy with his medium-high work rates in comparison to having too high. Like, I still prefer to have that medium-high, but sometimes having the high is really fun to work with, man. Depay in the cam position. Every one of these guys right here are on comeback and defense as well as a striker. So very similar to the tactic that I actually showed you guys last year with my 4-2-3-1, right? And this is something that I'm trying to adjust to as much as possible. You notice that my Lamb and my Ram are on the free roam instruction. I'm trying to experiment with way higher width, right? So you can see that the width is set to a 70, way higher width with the free roam instruction, and having players that adapt to each position really quickly as much as possible. I have not tried Hazard yet or Benzema, so I really want to see how they're going to perform in this team the way that it is, right? But the way that I have it set up right now, this is a really decent team to have for the road to glory, right? And I'm going to show you guys and tell you guys what I thought about it at the end of it, once I show you guys all the gameplay footage, right? But that's the 4-2-3-1. You guys know that I've been enjoying Gorilla's 4-3-2-1, right? He has this set to 65, and then he has the midfielder set up the way that it is. I would actually have to change this like that. Chiesa would stay there. Chiesa, high, medium, Chiesa. Probably put Hazard there, actually, with Chiesa as a more attacking-oriented one. This is why it's really good to have very versatile teams, like having that one midfielder that can play in the attack as well as the defense or the midfield, right? It's a very, very important thing to have in FIFA. So that's Gorilla's Tactics. If you guys want to check that, I'll be sure to visit his channel. This one, man, I will be experimenting with this one at some point, okay? Because I was playing on Guillau's account. These are not my tactics. These are from Air Japes. Be sure to follow him on Twitter, right? This is where he posted it. And this tactic was moving really well across the pitch. I just didn't like it too much for the cheap teams just yet, right? So we are going to be making a video on this at some point once we have a certain team and the players move a certain way. Maybe I make some adjustments myself to how I would kind of line up the team in general, but this is what I'm talking about when it comes to Japes, right? So you can see the tactics very different than what you would normally see. Pressure on heavy touch, slow build-up, forward runs, the way that the players in the box is set up. And in the instructions, right, he has this set up like this, right? So the fullbacks are on balance. He doesn't touch the fullbacks. I would actually have to switch this because I recently just changed this team. Instructions for the CDM is interesting because it's on cover center, free roam, and stay back while attacking. Free roam for the positioning freedom on him for the build-up play, right? The center mid that's more attacking oriented, we have him on get forward, free roam, and then we have the more defensive attacking one on stay on the edge of the box with a cross for that extra support. And then the left wing and right wing are on cut inside, getting behind, while the striker plays on the balance instruction. Now for this team, I feel like it would be okay, but I feel like I still need to have one player in that CDM area that's potentially going to be on that medium-high work rate, while I have another balanced midfielder that can play in the attack if I really need him to, right? Because the balance of this team might be a little bit off. I feel like one of the main instructions that I would actually change would be the free roam instruction for the Barella card so far, right? And then maybe put the cut passing lanes on him. That I will experiment with in the future or at some point when I play more Road to Glory games, but I'm just letting you guys know what the vibes are. And then this tactic right here is to kind of kill out the game a little bit if I really need to on a 4-2-2. This is Boris's tactics. I haven't really tried this one yet, to be honest with you. Again, once we get the more gameplay stuff going, then we'll definitely be doing all of that stuff, right? So we're going to switch this over here. Actually, this doesn't really matter on that side. Not too much, but we'll put Genie over there because Genie in FIFA is pretty solid, right? But yeah, those are the tactics and instructions that I'm using currently. Like I said, the ones that I showed you guys and I didn't show the instructions, those are not mine. Be sure to check out the original videos for those. But yeah, we're going to get into some gameplay footage now. Again, it's a few games here and there. I did play some new Allegiance games, which is the new game mode, again, to unlock Camavinga, but listen, man, I just want to commentate over the gameplay, show you guys what Depay did, and I'm going to comment on this team in general by the end of it and the improvements that I aim to do. Okay, guys, so the first team that we're going to be working with over here is going to be a guy lining up in a 4-3-3 formation. This is us playing some Division Rivals games now. So right here, we do a forced run with Carrasco, make this run over here. What I do is I actually wait for my striker to get back into that position, which... listen, man, they actually did this year, okay? Players that are good actually do that consistently. Like, Heung-min Son was doing that consistently once I got his player review. So they actually do that step back thing, which is great to work with. And if they don't, then you have to use the target lock system where you press L3, R3 to be able to get those runs off, right? But right here, nice little build-up play between the attackers. We score a nice little opportunity here with a Correa from a really, really good breakdown. Here, we can see we're using Carrasco. Right here, I go for a ball roll, driven pass. Driven pass comes off really well in this game for those first-time touches. We go for a pass downwards. Carrasco scores that opportunity. We get a defensive play right here, playing with Depay a little bit. Now, I want you guys to see this little moment over here, okay? First of all, crazy shooting animation with Depay. You guys know that shooting animation last year. Once it does that, it's insane. Like, the way they pop off is crazy. But initially, you could see that Correa, when he dribbles, he kind of does this a little bit more like emphasis because he's kind of got like a tubby body type, right? But again, Depay in that situation, using his left foot for the driven shot, you guys can see, man, the way that he dribbles, the way that he stops, the way he moves, very, very quick. Now, I will say, guys, inconsistent gameplay, yet again, a thing in this game. So playing the game at nighttime was definitely very, very nice for sure, but that's why I want to kind of get that stream schedule going for you guys. Initially, right there, because the score was 5-0, I actually wanted to try out a few things, right? So with Depay, I wanted to see how he would react from a regular left stick dribble against the goalkeeper, but you could see that he was emphasized. So I'm like, okay, that is not ideal for a consistent thing, right? So what did I do? When I got the ball Carrasco, I went for the shot cancel, forced the animation out of the goalkeeper, we score the opportunity. Situation like this, like I showed you guys in the finishing tutorial, once you get into that 45-degree angle, you either go for that power strike or for that driven shot. They work out really, really well in this game. We win the ball here from a corner kick. Pass the ball off to Correa. Correa's through on goal, and we ended up actually scoring a finesse shot. So the rest of this right now, guys, is going to be live reactions from the game. It was kind of like late at night, so I'm a little bit more quiet. But after that, I will be telling you guys what I actually thought about the team and what improvements I'd like to make in the future. Depay is like... Depay's crazy. I couldn't care less about his weak foot, honestly.
Well, not quite what he wanted to do with the pass. Can they take advantage? He just needs to remain icy cool.
Gotta be a penalty, yeah. I got a shot cancel there because the first time chips in that area, they don't really work that well. Yeah, I had to switch the penalty taker there because I took a penalty once with Correa and aimed it to the bottom right, and he just completely fluffed it that one time. So I was like, no, 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 never again.
And that puts them in position. It has to be.
Fuck. Oh my goodness, Emre Chan. Get a rage quit there too. Okay guys, so let's talk about some adjustments that we made to the team and why I made them, okay? So Carrasco, I actually had to switch out because in comparison to the dribbling stats of the players that, you know, I want to work with in the future, maybe Eden Hazard can actually be really good. Carrasco has base characteristics that move a certain way, right? So because he has a high and average plus body type with a 6'1" height and his dribbling stats have the way that it is, it's very noticeable in game, right? So that dribbling for those really clear-cut dribbling angles that I had to work with was kind of annoying from time to time, right? So I did have to switch him out, although his shooting actually came off well in certain situations for sure. Obviously scored some great opportunities, great player to have that's cheap in the beginning of the game, but that was something that was annoying me, right? This card is easy to link with because of the Correa card, so if you're going for some cheap options, it definitely makes a lot of sense to go with that, right? Correa, I switched because it's so funny to me, man, because Correa, it's like he reminds me of Ben Yedder in the past, right? Like, I always had to put Correa into the team because of the chemistry links that I was working with, and that was irritating me, man, because I was using him in the striker area, I was using him in the side positions, and he wasn't really hitting for me, right? So I switched to Karim Benzema and I switched to Eden Hazard because I want to test that out in the attacking positions. Like, I'm very well aware that Karim Benzema, you know, his agility and balance doesn't look great or whatever it is, right? But I want to see, because this game works very differently, I want to see what he offers a team on the pitch, man, because I feel like strikers in this game, they work differently. The way that you have to use a striker in a 4-2-3-1 is very different too. So I want to try it out and I want to see how it performs. If it's not great, listen, man, I'm going to probably be working with something in the future where I work with Griezmann potentially, maybe putting Dembele on the side. There's a lot of stuff to do, right? But the biggest thing that I have to do to this team is I need to take out these two. The back line has to be changed at some point, right? Nuno Mendes, love using Nuno Mendes, but I could tell that at some point I would like to change him too because of the way that dribbling works with him. It's always nice to have players that can dribble really well in every single area. But the two center backs, in my opinion, complete trash, man. I did not enjoy using them at all, okay? I was actually using Pep and Verissimo's card in the Portuguese team in the beginning, in the first episode that you guys saw, and they were significantly better than these two, man. These two suck. Oh my goodness. They were Longley, I might discard him because of how bad he is, okay? There were so many moments, and this isn't gameplay at nighttime, you know? There were so many moments where this guy was just not hitting for me, bro. So, yeah, these two need to go at some point. Maybe in the future, I'll probably get like an Eder Militão or something because, you know, former FC Porto player, so he's got to get right in there. Diego Carlos, man, I want to use him because he is a former FC Porto player, but he's not like Eder Militão level, you know what I'm saying? Like in regards to actually being a consistent player and all that good stuff. So, you know, got to get the meta with the sentimental value FC on that bad boy. But I like Nuno Mendes, man. Nuno Mendes is my top 3 favorite players in real life right now. It's actually, for the modern team, obviously, is Quaresma because he's still playing. So Quaresma's number 1, obviously. Ronaldo Sanchez is number 2, and then Nuno Mendes is number 3. Like, this is my top 3 right now for Portuguese players. So very cool to use him for that, but obviously I can tell that I want to switch him at some point. Maybe if I think Nuno Mendes actually has he has an OTW card, doesn't he? Does he not have an OTW card? Oh, he doesn't have an OTW card. No. I mean, just for that design, you know, it'd be kind of sick. It'd be kind of sick. But yeah, guys, these two center backs, they gotta go, man. This guy actually holds up well, man. Lazzari actually holds up well. I could even give him a chemistry style to perform even better than what he does right now, like on an anchor or something. He's pretty solid, especially for that triple link setup that we have going on that right side. But yeah, these two, they got to go at some point for sure. The attack, I will try out at some point, and in the next episode of the Road to Glory, I will let you guys know how that kind of goes down. So I know that you guys want to work with your beginner squads and you want to see how these cards kind of perform, right? But I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace out, my dudes. Love you guys.